Hey everybody, welcome back to KRATOM Kingdom, KRATOM with Chris. This is Chris Irving, your host for the next 10 minutes. I'm going to be talking to you about the biggest question I get from everybody is, can you get high from KRATOM? It's like everybody just wants to use KRATOM as a drug to get high. And I would be lying if I didn't say that I enjoy the euphoria. I mean, instead of saying high, I'm going to say euphoria. I think it's a little more YouTube friendly. But anyway, I enjoy the euphoria that I get from this little cup of this. What the hell? Let me turn my table around. Yes, and there is a trick to doing it. You've got to maximize your KRATOM by first you add at least 5 grams of KRATOM into a cup. Then you've got to squirt lemon or lime juice on it or Crystal Light. Then take just an eighth of a teaspoon of turmeric and put it in there. Mix it all up. Add your hot water. Mix it all up again, and it makes this terrible tasting tea. And then you just sip it slowly, and after a while you'll start to notice that you'll start stuttering a little bit, and then you know, yeah, the ride's beginning. And it's not like a bam, wow, I'm high, blitz. No, it's not like that at all. It's more like, yeah. And the cool part is there's no crash. It's not like I feel up. I mean, it stays with you for as long as you're sipping it. I don't know how I get through this my reality without it, but it looks like I'm going to have to. Next month I run out of KRATOM, and it's going to take 20 days for my homeboy to ship it from Indonesia. So that's 20 days without KRATOM, so wish me luck. I'm going to try to make videos on what it's like to not have KRATOM. And I may look ugly. I may not comb my hair, I may not take a shower, I may not even get dressed. Just because 20 days with no KRATOM will probably kill me. I'll probably get migraines, itchy eyes. Wow, fuck like itchy eyes. Allergies. It shouldn't be allergies. Okay, so outside I'm looking out my window and it's still dark out because it's only 5 a.m. and the wind is blowing my trees horizontally, and it is like 5 degrees Fahrenheit outside. This is Tennessee. This is still the South, folks. We're not supposed to get freezing weather here. That's for all you fools up north who like that shit, or out west who like that shit. I don't like that shit. I hate the cold. I'm from South Florida. I love 100 degree heat all day, every day. Even though I'm white, I just use a whole lot of bullfrog, what's that shit called? Sunblock. A long time ago, when I was a construction worker, I used to work construction on a barge. We would build docks and seawalls, so it was an amazing job. I mean, I would stand on the barge all day, lift up the spud, drop the anchor, lift the anchor, hook the piling to the cable, watch them lift up this 600-pound pole, like telephone pole, and drop it in the ground into a hole. And when I would get hot or tired, I would just jump in the ocean. So I was in the ocean more. One time I jumped in the ocean and I landed right on top of a manatee, because the manatees like to hang out close to where there's food. And we had gathered a little bit of mangrove leaves on the side of our barge. So this big mama moose was there with her 2 little babies. They weren't little. And they're just chilling, doing their thing, and I got hot, so I'm jumping in the water, and bang! That didn't feel like water. What the hell? And then I felt so bad that motherfucking manatee smacked me in the head with his tail, because that's their defense, is to smack you with their tail. And he smacked me in the head with his tail, almost drowned me. This big Jamaican guy that was working on the barge with me grabbed me by my hair, picked me up and said, "You alright, man? Get up here." My Jamaican accent is terrible, by the way. So back to getting high. Oh yeah. And you may not even know you're high when you're high, because it's such a mellow high. It's like taking really, really weak marijuana. With the advent, but it also gets rid of all your pain. So it's the wonder leaf. It's a leaf from God. It was put down here to help us. Just like the Rastafarians started a religion around ganja, I'm going to start a religion all around Kratom, and we're going to be the Kratomites, the Church of the Kratomites. Can I get a hallelujah? Because Kratomites they're in the know, they're woke, whatever that means, they're woke. They know more than non-Kratomites know, because they know how to get out of pain without taking hard drugs. They know how to handle their high when they're on Kratom, because it's not a big high, I'm kind of minimizing it a little bit, because my landlord's husband also drinks Kratom, and when she came in to do my inspection, she saw all my Kratom lined up on my kitchen counter, and she's like, "Is that Kratom?" And I was like, I don't know, is Kratom okay here? And she said, "Yeah, you can buy it at the corner store, it's fine, my husband does it." Then yes, that's Kratom, and it's really good Kratom. So if your husband really wants some whoa, I'm having a seizure, hold on. Whoa, that was weird. I get these little petite mal seizures where that just shocks my whole body. But I've come to enjoy them. They feel like bolts of electricity going through me, and they're kind of funny. I enjoy them. Otherwise, they can turn into a grand mal seizure, which throws me to the ground, hurts me really bad, and makes me want to die. But tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and my girlfriend said she was going to call me on Christmas Day, which I'm having a hard time believing, because she's going to be with her family, her grandma, her aunts, cousins, and she's going to forget about little old me. But that's alright, I'll be okay. I'll take a Klonopin and a cup of Kratom and think about it in the morning. This thing is getting weird. Now it's like starting to just color up and around. I don't understand what's going on. This is all scab, and I keep picking it off, which makes it worse. But having a big ugly scab on the corner of your mouth, women think you've got herpes. Who wants to kiss somebody with herpes? Not me. So I'm sorry, ladies, if you got herpes, I'm not into it. Sorry. Even though my last girlfriend, I was working for the Forest Service, and my last girlfriend was 19 years old. I was just turning 40 years old, and her mom was 41 years old. It was really humiliating. Showing up at their house for the first time and be like, "Hi, I'm a grown man dating your college student daughter." But I was the graduate teacher, and she was a grad student. So she seemed mature. She was into music. She was into classical music, which I'm really into. And she was into reading, which I'm into. And she seemed intelligent. She turned out to be just a sex freak. And which was fine with me. 19-year-old sex freaks, fine with me. Especially coming out of a marriage, 10 years no sex. Can you imagine being married for 10 years and never having sex with your wife? It should be a crime. She should be prosecuted and have her vagina sewed shut. That's what I think. If you're not going to use it, you're going to lose it. And I was cool with it for 10 years. I kept my mouth shut and my legs crossed. And didn't say anything. Took a lot of cold showers. Watched a lot of porn. But hey, what are you going to do? 30 years old in the prime sex peak of your life, and your wife is like, I don't feel like it. We gotta do that again? We just did it last week. Yeah, last week being the problem here. What, you want to do it every day? I was like, most married people do it 3 times a week from my research, because I was really into this, because I was wondering, am I being unrealistic wanting to have it once every other day? And another thing, we didn't want to have children because I had a stroke and I don't want to pass my genes on to anybody else, and she was too selfish and lazy to have a kid. So as soon as we got divorced, so we never wore birth control, so I never even had real sex. I had high school sex where you get to the point you pull out and game over. I was like, that was okay. And then I had sex with a 19-year-old girl who was on birth control, and let me tell you something, that was like, I was like 15 again. I felt like a virgin, and it was like, wait, I don't have to pull out, I don't have to wear a condom? He's like, no. And I did it, and then ever since that point, I had to have sex 3 or 4 times a day, just because she would be standing there looking out the window, and I'd come behind her, ba-pow, 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 in a very romantic and sweet way, like we were in France and she was overlooking the Louvre, and I sweetly come behind her, rub her neck a little bit, drop her dress to the floor, and do my thing. I'm a very romantic guy, if you didn't know that. I'm very sweet, and I'm very into KRATOM, which is why I keep losing my... So once you've finished your KRATOM, that cup, if you still don't feel any sort of mellowness to you, make another one and make it the same exact way. And just keep sipping it, and do something like just chill, just watch a TV show or watch YouTube. That's what I do. I probably watch YouTube more times in a day than any other person on the history of YouTube, because I wake up in the morning at like 3:30 in the morning, get up, put on YouTube and see what's new. What's new with my favorite YouTubers? Right now my favorite YouTubers are Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. Love those guys. They're just funny. They just make me laugh, and it puts me in their rich world where I couldn't even imagine being able to buy 17 pink Ferraris. But this bitch can do it. I mean, this chick can do it. I'm making it a vow never to say bitch again, because that's a very degrading word to people that I really enjoy. So, sorry, Tamara, I won't ever say the word bitch again. You got your point across. Quit yelling at me. Don't yell at me. I got it. I won't ever say it again. I swear to whoever. I swear to you. I won't say bitch anymore. Oop, I just said it, but that doesn't count. So this is now after you've had your pain should be gone, your body should feel now relatively numb. Then what I do is get a cup of coffee. Coffee stimulates the brain cells into moving faster. Then you're really gonna feel the high. So KRATOM first, then a cup of coffee. Specifically Jamaican Me Crazy Blue Mountain coffee, best in the world. And then make your fruit smoothie for breakfast so you can stay slim and trim like me. I have lost 35 pounds since doing this channel. Can you believe it? I mean, look at that. You can see chicken neck, turkey neck, gobble 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 gobble. It's terrible. I'm getting old, people. Has anybody found the fountain of youth? If you have, I would like to know that. I will give you all my KRATOM if you give me a sip from the fountain of youth, because I just don't want to get old. I don't want to get old with one hand, and I don't want My girlfriend's 25, but she's a Filipino 25, so she's 50 in actuality. I mean, her personality-wise, she's like 50. She doesn't play games, she's not into clubs, she doesn't drink, she doesn't smoke, she doesn't do drugs, she doesn't have any kids, which is a bummer because I wish she had a kid. And I am going to move to the Philippines and live off of my disability pension and live like a king, because $800 or $1,000 a month there is like $4,000 a month here, which is what I should be making, because I've been paying into Social Security since I was 14 years old, and then when I need it they give me a little $1,000 a month check. I mean, come on now. How's a cracker supposed to live with $1,000 a month? I've got bills to pay. I've got rent. I've got no electricity. I've got rent, cable, no cable. I don't have cable. Rent, cable, internet, no rent, internet, car insurance. Those are my only bills. And sometimes food. But since my dad passed away, I haven't grieved that yet. I haven't broken down and cried yet. My dad was my fucking hero. I mean, he was the man. He could fix anything, he could do anything until he got old. When he got in his 70s, he started to break down. All that hard living he did, he was a drinker, a fighter, a druggie, a hippie, he was in the army. I mean, he did it all, and he could fix anything. And if he couldn't, he would pay for it for me, because he's the man. Bloop. So alright, you guys, I have dragged on long enough, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Peace out. Stay high.